Okay. I'm just going to play on my turn Warmonger's Peace or War, gentlemen.
Scoop.
So I'm going to play Break of Dawn. I was hoping you would attack me, and I would like to get this out of my hand.
Adequate responses, both of you.
That was a terrible
Welcome.
play, Taylor.
Well, it's topical. And welcome to the reaction step, our fun YouTube show. And today, two things. One, I think our responses to how Warmongers happens and the sadness that it brings is relevant right now. So there's that. Two, today's episode, we're going to draft the artwork of Dusk to Dawn. We did this for Outsiders. It was a big hit. And now we're going to do it again today.
Huge hit. It was incredible. I'm still riding the highs of just dominating that draft. We're going to try to repeat. Let's go back to back. Draft champion, Chonigman, Team Chonigman. Let's go.
And I'm still riding the lows of getting annihilated in that draft. So we're going to try to get a new high here, get out of this valley.
Yeah,
But
my strategy.
We all had fun.
We did.
We did have a ton of fun.
That's another reason we're doing this again, because it was a big hit, but maybe mostly because of how much fun we had doing it.
I stayed up till like 11:30 last night making my big board and trying to outthink both of you.
Just like,
And trying to learn from last time. Last time I was a little too cute. I did what I do. I was a little bit too hipster on my picks, and just Colin scooped up all the best ones. So if you are listening to this or watching it, please either in the comments for the YouTube, on the Discord if you're a patron, on Twitter, send us an email, whatever. Let us know who you think has the best draft, and then they will be crowned the winner of Dusk Till Dawn art draft. We're going to do 5 rounds, and we're going to do it snake style.
But this time, Taylor's going first. Last time I went third and still won somehow. But I guess the third position's good because you get the back-to-back choice. The first and second round. So it's
2 scoops.
It's a powerful position if the other two, drafters just flounder on their first picks.
That's true. I forgot to.
So here's to hoping you guys flounder.
Yeah, let's go. There's no way. Unless Taylor just screws me on this first pick.
Yeah, with a rune chant token. No.
It's just beautiful. I love it.
I love it.
Are we ready? We're gonna do round one.
Yep. Here we go. Round one in the first pick of Dusk to Dawn art draft. I'm going to choose. This is a big choice. I'm going to pick the Dyadic Carapace extended art. So particularly the extended art. Sorry, Colin, for ruining your editing dreams here.
It's the same artwork. It's just more of it.
Yeah. Well, that's the key part, is that you get to see this like badass Runeblade warrior and their baller armor, and it's just so cool. It's tons of purple, tons of aether, sword and scepter, and we don't know who this character is. Love it. It's also a really cool card. One of the better named, I think, pieces of armor in the game as well. Dyadic Carapace. It's awesome. So with my first pick, that's what I'm choosing.
Strong pick.
Nice.
I didn't realize
strong maneuver
that she had a sword too. That is dope, and maybe one day they'll allow us rune blades to swing a sword and poke you with a scepter as well. Like, that'd be pretty fun. Maybe
That would be fun.
It'd only be cooler if she had a book.
Hashtag make Runeblade great again.
Hashtag book.
We have a book, the anal Sutcliffe or whatever it's called. The Annals.
Is that what it's called?
I think it's the Annals of Sutcliffe.
I thought it was the Grimoire of the Haunt.
Oh yeah, we have 2 books.
Well, that was a good pick, Taylor. I will give you that. Fortunately for me, it was the wrong pick. So this is already going great for me because in my first round pick, we're going with the Diadem of Dream State.
Ooh, cool.
Because
Yeah.
it's just really dope. It's got like Afrofuturist, like cool vibes going on here. Just this dope illusionist with it's just like it almost looks like the crown is an illusion itself. Like it just kind of floats around her amazing hair, and it just looks amazing in the extended art as well. I think all the legendary cold foils are extended art?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I wasn't sure if like there was cold foils that were not, but they all look really good.
I don't know if Iron Song Versus comes in cold extended art.
Well, don't worry about that card because this card is sweet. At least the art is. I don't know if it's like that amazing of a headpiece. This whole ward thing, I think we're going to have to spend some time figuring out if that is powerful or not. But this is about the art. This one, I don't know. When I saw it, I was just like, hell yeah. And hopefully we get this as an illusionist character in the future. So that's my round 1.
Nice. I will say real quick, I do love these like pieces of equipment or cards or whatever that depict other heroes potentially for those classes. So it's a huge spike on for me. Anyway, go ahead, Isaac.
I really like that pick, Colin. That was one of the potentials on my list because of like its intrigue for me, right? Like, who is she? What is she doing there? What kind of powers is she wielding? What does her crown do, or her floating purple magic? Like, where is she? I don't know if I asked that already, but there's just like, I don't know, so many questions I have about, that art and what it's depicting. So I really enjoy it.
Jellyfish, and where is it going?
Yeah, exactly.
Who
What
knows?
is happening?
What is happening? Yeah, awesome. All right, Isaac. Round 1.
So now I get 2 picks.
2 pick. Ooh, here we go.
And I'm gonna snake it back around to you guys after I'm done here, mopping up the good stuff. So for me,
mopping up the good stuff. That sounds so wrong.
Oh, I didn't think so.
All right. Final pick of round 1 here.
Taylor, are you in a hurry, Taylor?
No, I'm just trying to keep it succinct like a real draft, knowing that it's the end of round 1 and the beginning of round 2.
In the spirit of being succinct, I have a couple qualifiers first. I did not pick any of the old heralds or consider that art because it's from Monarch. And I also think the figments kind of knocked it out of the park. So I tried to diversify instead of choosing all figments. That said, this is a pretty predictable one, but I'm going to choose Figment of Triumph.
Yep.
One of our favorite artists in the game. And I think this is one of her best pieces of art for the game yet. There's so many cool things about this this piece of artwork, like the hero in it, the blood dripping off the sword, the geometry of it, the line. Like, anyway, I could go on and on, but I really, really appreciate this piece. So that's my first pick.
Nice. Excellent first pick. This was my second pick, so I knew it was a risk. I was like, if I don't pick this first, there's no way I'm getting it. But
It was not on my board because I know both of you are illusionist simps these days, so
look,
I didn't even consider it.
It's a good one.
Nothing to do with illusionist. Just Eleanor has a dope style, and we need more of her cards in this game. I don't know why they keep only giving her like 1 card.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, guys. They're so
they give
good.
her good ones at least.
That's true.
Yeah.
Great choice, Isaac.
Thank you. I think for my second pick, I'm going to keep it in the light side this time around. So for my second pick, I'm going to choose Iron Song Versus.
Interesting.
I am not a warrior fan. I hate the name of this card. It sounds like an unfinished phrase. But if you blow up the artwork on this, like if I played Dorinthia, I would want this to be the hero art, right? Like it's just everything you want in your light hero. You know, she's beautiful, she's determined, she's stoic, she's strong, and she's like ready for battle and to defend that granite pillar behind her and whatever else is there.
That pillar is holding up all of Solana. Yeah, that's the one pillar holding the entire empire up. Yeah. She's gonna protect it.
Yeah, and the artwork's like a little bit stylized, kind of. I don't know what you call it, but
it's like a John Woo action film still.
Yeah, totally. Everything about this pick, like, I don't know. I've never been a Dory or a warrior simp, but this card would do it for me. So those are my two picks.
Nice.
Good. So Iron Song Versus goes early round 2. Excellent job. Are we considering the figments and the angels different artwork?
Yes. They have different.
They're different pieces of art.
100%. I will say, when I was looking at cards, I was like, the art on this is really tight, and it almost made my list. I feel the same. I was just like, but I don't like warrior. But I think it's cool that it's like clearly Dorinthia. Like, there's not a lot of equipment where it's just like the hero that you play is on the card with the equipment. She's got Dawnblade. Like, it's just kind of, it hits all those, like, it's not, I don't want to call it fan service, but it's like if you love Dorinthia, like, you're gonna want this card because it's, well, one, it's pretty good, but also the art's pretty amazing. Good choice there. I respect it. All right. Well, we've been dabbling in the light, and what does light do? It casts shadows.
Wow.
And so we're dipping into the darkness a little bit. I feel like Taylor might be mad when I say this, but we'll see, because we're going Requiem for the Damned.
Ooh, nice.
This one is just real good. It even has kind of like that Eleanor vibe, because it's got like the geometric shapes just kind of like, superimposed on this crazy looking angel of death. There's a bunch of arms reaching up. I don't know. It's just it's just straight vibes. This thing is straight vibes. The playmat of it is really awesome. I missed out on that whenever that was given out, unfortunately. But yeah, Requiem for the Damned. I don't know. It's just real good. It's simple. The colors are kind of muted, and there's not a lot of. It's almost monotone, but not really. Yeah. Dude's just got like a dark, like the darkest part of it is the dude's head. His bald head in the middle, which is like, I don't know. The whole thing is just cool. I'm into it. So Requiem for the Damned.
I really like, I like that use of light too, and the darkness in him. And I like how it's like all earthen tones, I guess you'd call it. Like the whole painting, like all the colors they chose are like in that kind of earthy spectrum.
It's like rusty copper or something.
Yeah.
It's like that green, weird colored rust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really sets the
moldy
sets the tone.
Even.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool. It also toes the line between like maybe being like a giant painting on a wall in like the monastery, and also perhaps like actually a real scene of some sort of cult leader or something like that, a fallen angel, as you were, being worshipped. So that is cool. That was it's a good pick. I'm not mad. I subverted that one as well. Yeah. Was not on my list, I think, at all.
Wow. Well,
But
you know, that's fine.
This is a good set for artwork, so it's tough.
Well,
I had
we'll
to-
talk about that at the end because I actually have
Yeah.
I had some interesting feelings about the set as a whole. Talking about the art,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
there are some real good
Yeah.
artworks in this one. I think it would be like a fresco. You know, like this would be like
Yeah.
a fresco painted on a wall, and
Yeah.
it's just like massive. And you see like, you know, a couple tiny dudes walking by and you're like, oh my God, it's like 3 stories tall. And it gives you that
Indeed.
sense of scale, like in Dune, like a Denis Villeneuve movie or whatever, how you pronounce his name. Anyways,
You
on to
did pretty
Taylor.
good. You just kind of mutter through it. And
Yeah.
you nailed it.
I got the first name. The second part I'm unsure about. All right, Taylor, round 2 pick.
All right, with the final pick in round 2. This is tough. There's a lot of stuff on my board still up there. And to try to figure out how to get value moving into the third round here is it's pretty tough, you know. Okay. I'm going to pick it. So, you know, right before, you know, the night is darkest before the dawn. You know what I mean? So we're going back to the light side here. For the third pick in the second round, I'm going with Figment of Tenacity. I just love the colors. It's just a great color palette. The blues and the greens with the yellows, and just the hero all alone on the wrecked ship calling the lightning to fight this sea serpent is just an epic scene, and it reminds me of, like, you know, some like a fantasy novel like would be depicted, and also like perhaps it gives me vibes of being in like a medieval like lore book, you know, or like when they have those kind of like a monk painted this, you know, as part of some sort of book or whatever, and this is just one of those like full art pages in a medieval novel that's saved for all of history. So
Like illuminated text thing.
yeah, exactly, like gold inlay and stuff, and it's just really just speaks to me. This is like definitely one of my favorite arts. It makes me want to play Prism because of how cool this figment is.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I really, really like this card. And there's a number of pieces of artwork in this set. I won't name them because we're still picking, but that have that kind of like, yeah, like fantasy painting. And they like give you goosebumps from like the epic nature of it, and from like the kind of throwback like 90s fantasy illustration aspect, at least for those of us that were born before 2000. So yeah, I really, really enjoy that pick, or this pick, and all the cards in the set that evoke that kind of same epic, fantastic showdown.
Yeah, totally. It's got that, you know, storytelling vibe of like, you know, you can imagine a movie starting right here, you know, in media res, as they say, and just like it's like lightning, and then he like goes at the thing, and then it flashes back to learn about who this dude is and why he can put lightning in his sword. Like, is the lightning hitting his sword, or is the lightning coming out of his sword? I don't know, man. But he's gonna kill this dragon, maybe, or he's gonna die trying.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. My money might be on the dragon.
Yeah, it's
Giving it hell.
pretty big. No, it's great. I love the hands too. I don't think I noticed that previously. Like the two.
Yeah,
like,
totally. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it very, very good pick.
Yeah, and some of these last 3 cards we've picked have that like an illustration on top of the illustration type of thing. You know what I mean? Some sort of geometry lines. It's cool. It reminds me of a tattoo also, and I love tattoos. So, okay, so
Shout out tattoos.
shout out to tattoos. Pro Tattoo Podcast as the person with only tattoos on the podcast.
That you know of.
I've seen both of you naked, so it's fine. I know what's going on.
All right.
Back in heat. All right.
Round 3.
Round 3. So now we're like, there's a lot of good stuff still out there moving into round 3 here. And I thought I was going to have S picks, but I realized I have just too many picks on my big board.
Were you hoping we would like thin it out a little bit?
Yeah,
for you?
a little
Make some
bit.
of your tough decisions. Yeah.
Yeah. And that has happened 0. And I think I have to look at kind of how my board is looking right now. Not so much like, what's the composition of my board like, so we got Carapace, we got Figment of Tenacity, pretty good. Those are really good hits. I think we just need to go bigger and badder. So we're going with Sadden Death Hydra.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Shaden.
That's what I meant. Shaden.
Right.
Hayden
Edit that
Death
out, Colin.
Hydra.
Hayden Dale Hydra. Okay. This is, I think, a card not talked about enough for its friggin' amazing artwork. Like, there's a couple of these in the set where there's monsters that are so big they're destroying entire armies and cities. And now we have a Hydra spewing acid, death. I don't know. It's not flames. And
it's not looking good for those people, whatever it is.
Yeah, totally. And apparently all of the heads do this because they're all shooting it all over everybody. And it's freaking massive. And everything we know about Hydras is when you chop one of those heads off, if you could get there, it's just going to grow 2 more. So it's just going to get worse. And it has these great, like, colors too. That's a thing with these last 2 picks that I really like is the colors. I love this like sunset oranges and kind of reds with like the cool green yellows and like the kind of blue gray foreground of the soldiers. I just think it looks really great with like the whole card composition with the brute border and the yellow up top, like the whole card as a whole, not just the artwork, like I think works together. Even like the little majestic dot is like in the same color palette. So it like works really good on the card as well is one of the reasons I really like it. So
yeah, the use of lighting is really, really good.
It is. Baller card.
Yeah.
So I think that's a pretty strong team I have going on here.
I mean,
and the more you look at this card, the more
it's on this one piece right here.
The more you look at this card, the more it like sucks you into that battle,
Yeah.
Yeah, and the cool mountains in the background. Like I just love the perspective and the depth.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was gonna say.
cool.
The scale and depth of it is like really interesting and kind of keeps you like looking because you're just like, whoa, it's big. It's big. He's a big boy or girl.
Totally. I'm pretty excited to get that round 3.
Yeah,
a lot of value there in the 3rd round.
All
right.
there's some really great art. So I feel like we might not even have any more collisions going forward, to be honest. But
Totally.
oh man, you guys, I'm in a pickle
snake
now.
it back around. Snake it back around.
Yeah, you're in a pickle.
Yeah, I think I'm in
You're
a
in a
pickle.
Taylor Isaac pickle right now.
Yeah, I don't. not,
The way the video is, we're kind of on top of him, crushing him. We're pressing him down, beating him down.
Big old pickle.
just like pickles do, they crush you. Everyone knows when you eat a pickle, you better watch out.
Yeah.
Especially those ones at Disneyland. They're too big. Too big. I'm just stalling for time. I'm not quite sure. I feel it's like the figments are so good, but you guys got some really strong ones. So like, is it just like a cop out to get it? And maybe I can get it later. I think, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with what I had written down. This might be kind of an outside pick for me, but I'm going with Prayer of Bologna. I didn't expect to pick a Light Warrior card, but I don't know. The whole thing just looks dope. It's just Bolton looking really dope. He's so swole, but he's also like crying, And it's just like this like vulnerable masculine energy. He's got Raiden. It's on fire. There's all sorts of wispy flames coming around. There's stained glass behind him. Like it's an epic little scene. And I wish this one was an extended art because it looks awesome. I think just the style that Bolton is depicted in, I feel like they always try to predict. God, I forgot the word. Depict. I was like, predict? Is it predict? It's depict. They always try to depict him very like realistically, and I like the stylization on this one. It looks more like comic book.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just a really pretty card. Yeah, it was it shocked me when I looked at it. I was just like, oh, this is going on my list. Like, I thought I was just gonna not look at any of these, but it's really good. The detail on his armor too, just like a lot going on there that for like a kind of a small, on the other end of the spectrum of scale, like very intimate scene.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like really well done. And yeah, that's my round 3. 3?
Yeah,
good.
4.
The emotion in that is it's a good touch. It makes you like really invested and care about whatever Bolton's doing there.
Dude's
It's also
rough.
there's like a lot of things going on when you think of it in terms of Bolton. Like Bolton has never looked cooler, right? But it's also like one of the few the only hero we have like in a non-heroic pose, but also being very heroic, kind of like you said, like that vulnerability in it, like, I don't know, makes me like Bolton more. You know what I mean? And we just like don't have the Bolton on as many cards as we do for like Dorinthia or Oldhim or Bravo or whatever, just and for them to be, this is one of the choices of the few times we get to see him is really cool. And I think this is a real sleeper. It's a real sleeper pick. I'm very proud of you and a little upset I didn't get it, but should have metagamed more.
It just spoke to me, and that's why the art draft is fun, because it's not about the card, what it does, who it's for. It's just, does this art speak to me? And it did. And I think kind of the depiction of the other side of like Bolton's story, like, he is just like this amazing hero, but also, there's a very sad backstory in there as well. So I think this kind of taps into that a little bit and gives that emotional resonance that you need in art sometimes. Can't all just be dope dragons.
Totally. You gotta feel something sometimes too.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it can be, but
all right, good. Yeah, that was a good sleeper pick, Colin. Thanks. Well played, sir. All right, end of round 3.
Yep. Final pick of round 3.
I'm gonna grab this card because I would be really sad if I didn't pick it. So or if one of you picked it first.
Embodiment of lightning.
And Earth, back to back.
Got them. They are good, though. They are good. Some of the better tokens.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. They are good. But I'm not picking any old artwork. I already announced that. For my third pick, I'm going to choose Censor. Now, this is a pod favorite, Carlos Cruchaga. A little bit biased here, but I love the art on this card, and I'm going to read the flavor text first. Still your flapping flesh, that rasping of sinuous chords. Those words were never meant for such as you. Love it. Love the flavor text also. But yeah, the story this painting tells is like, the woman is, I don't know, not good looking, right? Like like she could be evil. She could be good somewhere in the, gotcha. Not like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I clarified. Thanks for hanging us up here.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Okay, calm down. This woman, she could be evil. She could be good. She's clutching this book that's torn, but she's obviously up to something forbidden or that she's not supposed to be doing. and this, minotaur ram creature is like coming to silence her, and it's like, who is she? What is she doing? Who is the ram? What is he or she doing? And I don't know. I just wonder. I feel like there's a whole like short novel that could be written about what's happening right now in this painting. I love it. It's great.
Yeah,
Nice.
I like the details. The falling goblet with like either extremely red wine or blood. The pages that are like blowing away, and also like catching fire from a candle that got blown away. Like, it's just like a lot of action, but then also has this like weird quality to like the minotaur is like weirdly wispy, like, also like if an evil looking minotaur is like coming to tell you, like a slightly evil looking person, to like shut up, like that's like, what is going on there?
I mean, it seems like a forbidden ritual she was trying to perform for some sort of power.
Yeah.
But he's coming in to lay down the law of hell or just what, who knows?
A little
I
gentle
think it's the
finger
I
on
think
the
it's
lips.
the other way. Is that he's coming to, or like she's censoring him, or them.
I don't know.
What? He's got his
Minotaur's
finger
fingers
on her. Taylor, those words are not meant for you.
Shush.
See, and this is why I talked about being bullied earlier in the podcast. See this? Before we started recording.
It's not
Really?
bullying.
You think
We
she's
just disagree with you.
very
my
distinct
point
difference?
I mean, bullying is in the eye of the beholder.
That is not
same
what
as
they
beauty.
say. But
That
I'm
is what they
sorry
say.
you feel that way.
I think the cool part of it is that even though he's touching her lips, I think it could go either way. I'm not sold on it is the monster censoring the humanoid. It could be the other way around. Because I feel like his wispiness is her banishing the minotaur, censoring it with magic, something like that.
All right.
That's
He's
how
trying to stop it.
Yeah, that's what I
Nice.
think is the cool part of it, is that could go either way.
I love it. I love that you read it that way, because it just shows how, I don't know, evocative this painting is.
Yeah. Yeah, Carlos Cuchaga is awesome. One day we'll get him on here and tell him that.
Yeah. All the way from Chile.
I hope he listens to the pod.
Me too.
Nice.
We've
All right.
mentioned him enough that some sort of algorithm should be able to bring
We should
his
just
pod up.
hashtag
If we ever,
Carlos Cruchaga in every video that we mention him in, and see if he finds us. All right.
all right. So
Round
that
four
was a
starts.
generic card, but the start of the fourth round, I'm going to delve into the shadows.
Oh,
So
goodness.
my fourth pick is Slithering Shadowpede.
Oh God. No, you didn't.
Did I get one of yours?
No, this one I did not put on because it's a nightmare image that I don't want to look at.
Same. I also didn't pick this or Diabolical Offering spoilers because of the grotesque nature is too off-putting for me. But
It's good.
you're much more hardcore than us, apparently.
Totally. No, that's why I picked it, because it's like, this is
It makes me feel something.
it's like a creepy crawly enough to like evoke those heebie-jeebies, like it skittered around and it has its like scorpion pincher tail thing. Like everything about it is like grotesque, but it's very large and very powerful, and as like a shadow hero summoning power, this is the kind of monster you'd want to summon to attack your foes. And we got the moon and the dark clouds or mist in the background of this city that doesn't have any lights on or anything, and is definitely in ruin and fog, and this this powerful, creepy monster scuttling around. You know,
Nice.
it's good. Everything about it is, yeah.
It reminds me of like 1980s or like 70s or 80s stop action,
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
animated claymation horrifying like Clash of the Titans style, where it's like the frame rate's kind of weird, but it's like coming at you and it's got like a realistic face and this horrifying like monstrosity body, and it's just like looking at you, it's like, oh my god, please don't traumatize me forever. And at that point it's too late. I can appreciate the art on this. Also, shout out to the artist Othon Nicolaitis, who did the Requiem of the Damned as well. Very similar like palette, very cool that he worked, or they worked in this kind of like limited palette space, and just like really evocative, very moody, but really effective and like cool to see just what horrifying stuff can come out of the shadows.
I mean, it's just like this is a horrific monster, like terror inspiring. And if I was a resolved evil shadow hero of immense power, this is what I would want to summon and fight by my side and like sick on my enemies. I would want them to feel the fear of this thing. You know what I mean? Like that's everything about this card.
Nice.
Yeah. It's gross.
All right.
Good play. Well played.
Absolutely
well played.
horrific. Yeah. I have to leave now, so I guess Isaac wins.
Totally. Pause the recording. Got a vom.
Yeah. All right. Now we're back to
Nice.
me.
Yep. 4th round pick, Colin.
This is so hard. I'm second guessing the order
Is
that I threw together because I was setting up the recording and didn't have time to actually order all the ones I set apart. So I got to think about it. Do I want to go to the shadow or to the light? It's unclear.
Yeah, it's tough.
All right. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. All right, we're doing it. Trust my gut instinct, which was what I did first. We're going with shadow. We're staying in the darkness. It's widespread annihilation. It's
So good. Nice. So good.
It's just a cool. I like it. I was like on the edge because it's a little, I don't know, like cell shady, like in its style, but I think that is also why it's like really cool. It's just very unique on its own. Which one is that? One of the demons we know?
It's Nazareth.
It's Nazareth. Okay. Oh yeah,
The
'cause it's got
soul
the
harvester.
dope pillars that just like float around it, which is
Yep.
a cool vibe. Just you see a dude walking down the street with pillars floating around him, you're like, that guy's got it going on, and he's got like a little hat one that floats above his head. But yeah, it's just like the scene is like weird, but like there's just like these colors emanating from behind him, and then like a portal into space / another dimension behind them, and it's just good. It's very interesting. I like the stylistic nature of it, and yeah, that's all I got. Widespread annihilation.
Very good. It's another color palette. I don't know what it is, what I would say for me in the color palette that I like it. It inspires me.
Yeah.
The color palette, I guess. This was on my list for sure. And one of the things I really liked about it was that it had that stylized nature about it. And because Nazareth is from like a different dimension, that the style can be this kind of fuzzy, comic booky, space sci-fi vibe, because it's like from a different plane of existence, Yeah. Good pick. Good pick.
And the same artist did all 3 of the widespread cards with all 3 of the demon hero, or whatever you want to call them, demons on it, which is very cool. Like you can see Ursa and Blasphemous also in the same style. So it's
Hell
cool. I just like it when they switch up art styles, you know, without it being too jarring, but when they splash in these different creative minds, it makes the set richer.
Absolutely.
For sure.
All right, here we go. Round 4 into 5.
Okay. This is big because these are my last 2 picks.
Ooh.
Geez, I don't know what to do here. So with the third pick in the 4th round, see, I got to kind of think of like both of my picks at the same time. And I'm also trying not to, because it rounds out my team here. I'm also trying not to just try to pick the art rather than the like card effects or, you know, the heroes I enjoy a bit more, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty tough. It's pretty tough. Okay, so I'm gonna go with my, oh God, there's so many bangers left. There's so many bangers. Okay. All right. I've got it. I figured it out how I'm going to do this. Okay. So we're going to stay in the widespread zone. And I'm going to pick widespread ruin. I think this is out of the 3 and maybe out of all of the Shadow Runeblade cards. Oh, it's pretty tough. But this is in my top 2 for Shadow Runeblade cards. And I just want to shout out just getting to see Ursa again. Ursa is for sure, I think, I don't know, the coolest one so far. They've got the sick ass scythe and like the wings, and they don't even really have a head. It's just energy, you know? And it's like, also, I love these colors. I think this color palette's really cool. And it gives me a you know, Darth Vader walking towards you vibe, as like the earth is cracking and stones are flying through the air. And it's just like, Ursa's not in a hurry right now. Everything is being destroyed as they're coming forth. And it just, from the perspective of looking at this, you're just like terrified. You know what I mean? Like everything is being destroyed around you. And
Yeah.
it's sick.
I really like the like heat wave ripple effect that the artist has done there. I mean, it's not from heat, obviously. It's from like dimensional cracking, or, you know, like Ursa's magic, or like just ripping reality apart on this planet. Yeah. But I think that that's really, really cool.
Yeah, I was looking at this one. It was a tough choice between Ruin and Annihilation. They both were giving those, you know, eldritch vibes that were also like cool and stylistic, whereas like, you know, Widespread Destruction is kind of scary because it's Blasphemous, who's a little grosser. These are one of the gross demons. These are like the cool, you know, cool hip demons. There's less body horror going on, you know. But yeah,
totally
great choice. Shout out to the artist Riza Afshar. They've done some really cool work in this set.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so that ends the 4th round. So here we go. Fifth and final round.
5.
My final pick. And this is trying to just get a little extra value here in the 5th round.
He's trying to snake it away.
I'm trying to snake it away from you guys just in case you're on top of this, or get you because you were like, oh, I didn't even think of that, you know, and just blow you out of the water here. So we're going with Archangel of Judgment, my favorite angel artwork. Just coolest looking. I can tell by the audience knows how good of a pick this is, you know. They always picked an angel.
I was hoping I could get it late.
Oh, is this your pick, Colin? I also looked at this card.
Yeah. I was undecided next round, but if it was there, I probably would have picked it. Anyways, keep going.
Hell great yeah, choice. Gotcha. Themis, Archangel of Judgment, just like great artwork, coolest looking angel. You know, has the scales there for you, and just this what I also love is the background on this. This is one of those cards I feel like the same thing with Death Hydra is how its composition with the border and how Flesh and Blood cards, the anatomy of them are, it works really well. Like it flows basically seamlessly into the border and even the like yellow and green of its health and attack power like kind of fit the whole color palette. So it's just great. It's cool. Love the glowing eyes.
Yeah.
You know, and I also like it that they're not looking at you, you know, the judgment is out there to the horizon. It's cool.
Yeah. No,
There we go.
excellent pick. I
Thank you.
agree on everything, the composition, the, you know, kind of geometric sun, I love the cool palette, like, you know, cool isn't like temperature, like it's
Yeah.
like these blues and purples. It's not just like, you know, I think the Angels are pretty diverse in their color schemes, but some of them are just, I don't know, they just look like big warriors, and they're a little less interesting. I thought this one was by far the coolest Angel, and I think I thought about this one because I saw the Marvel version, where it's just like the art's even bigger and it's just like even more striking. So yeah, this is you got me. You got me.
Yeah, her looking away is just awesome because you have it's like she doesn't care about you. You have no input. You know what I mean? She's just
You don't
weighing
want
her
her to look
judgment.
at you.
Yeah, she's just weighing the judgment, and then that's the final word. And she has this like glowing lightsaber sword, so she's probably judge, jury, and executioner in this situation. And it's just like
She's Judge Judy and executioner.
yeah, it's a powerful thing that's happening.
Figment of cable television.
All right, famous Judge Judy from now on.
Wow. I'm tilted. You tilted me off the face of the planet.
Yes, I did it in the 5th round. Let's go.
It was. I will say, honestly, it was below what I probably am gonna pick. But it was. I was just sitting there on my phone, just flipping back and forth between the two arts to be like, which one should I go with? And
Yeah.
you made that choice for me. So I guess, you know, thank you for making my last pick easier, but also, you know, damn, it was strong. That was a strong final round pick. So
Thanks. Yeah.
for
It's pretty
me,
good.
we're gonna go. I'm gonna pick a hero. We're
Hell
going
yeah.
Vincent Iron Maiden.
Ooh, also on my
Because
list.
Now I'm a sad emo boy, so I'm gonna lock myself up. and
Adult or young version?
Iron Maiden is the adult.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry, you said Iron Maiden.
So, you know, this is Vincent in an Iron Maiden, although it seems like a you know, flipped or like an inverted Iron Maiden that shoots out spikes rather than pokes them in, but maybe there are spiky parts in the middle, you know. They seem to be into that flatulation. Is that flatulation? Flagellation.
Yeah,
Flatulence is farting.
yeah. Self-flagellation.
It just farts a bunch and then you die from the gas. Yeah, it just into this, you know, the self-flagellation. And yeah, it's just cool. The more I looked at it, like it's opening a little bit. Her arm, like this long, you know, skeletal arm is coming out holding a dope looking sword, which is weird because she uses a flail, you know, thematically. But yeah, I don't know. Just the spears of the Iron Maiden have like arcane energy coming off them. She's like in the middle of a very cool looking like city, unclear where. There's demons and there's this huge battle going on all around her, and then just like it's got these like antler things coming out the top to like frame her, which, you know, just gives off powerful energy and don't fuck with me vibes. So Vincent Iron Maiden in the 5th round. I'm doing it. Federico Musetti. Shout out to our boy. One of the nicest guys.
Nicest guy.
Happy.
Pretty good. It was definitely on my list for sure. One of the things I noted to like about it was that I love it that she has this long skinny skeletal arm that is very reminiscent of Nazareth, the soul harrower. So I thought that was cool. And the weird like spider network that's going into her mouth that attaches to the
Oh yeah, I forgot about
cauldrons of the Iron Maiden. You know, it's
That
like
freaks me out.
Yeah, it's weird. But
Yeah,
I'm
it's
here
like
for it.
she's like this war machine that as she slowly moves through the city,
Yeah.
she like you don't want her gaze to like stop on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. And
Just
then when
like
she
death
comes out of
walking.
it, you're like, oh, now I'm really fucked. Like,
yeah.
she's just been moving through, just firing spears at people from her, armored body. And then she's like, okay, well, now I'm going to kill you with my sword.
Yeah.
Bad news.
Good pick. Good
Thanks.
pick.
All right, Isaac, what you got? Final pick.
This is I don't know if this is an all-star pick for the masses or to win it for me, but I really like this card, so I'm going to choose it. I'm going to pick, and it was between a few of these like in this kind of style. I'm going to choose Ram Raider.
Nice.
I like the power of this charging beast. And again, to me, it's like kind of reminiscent of old school fantasy artwork. And yeah, I just like everything about it. As a brute player, when you're playing brute, this is the energy you want to have, right?
Yeah, it's brute
And,
vibes for sure.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's a powerful rage. It's unhinged slaughter. It's just like everything that playing this hero is. So I really enjoy the energy this artwork brings.
Nice.
And that's it. That's my
Just
fifth
like
pick. It
I
kind
like
of
how nicely you say that. Just like it's just got great vibes, you know, and it's like I love to relax and just
Love
play
slaughter.
Brew.
It's
Yeah.
giving slaughter and destruction, wanton violence.
yeah.
A hint of nutmeg and cherry.
and just that extra charred smoky flavor you get when the person who murdered you is on fire.
Brute sommelier.
Now,
I almost chose like Beseech the Demigon or
Oh,
Putrid
dude.
Strings.
Yeah, I think
for
actually-
this same style kind
we
of.
should do
you know
like
what
a
I mean?
round of almost
Sure.
picks. 'Cause
Let's
Yeah.
but I want to
let's
talk about
recap.
Ram Raider real quick because
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very close to putting this on my list. It was one of those
Same.
ones that even before I started reviewing the card art, I was like, oh, there's that one brute card that's just like epic and crazy, and it's just like a giant guy. Like the scale's all crazy. Like is he 3 times bigger than these other guys, or is he just closer to the frame? It's a little unclear, but I'm just gonna believe that he's massive and he's coming in to like
Yeah.
hit 5 people at a time with his giant, stick. But yeah, it's very, very brute vibes. It is exactly, the image you're conjuring in the when you're rolling scab skims and hitting people hard with no hit effects.
For sure. Yeah, it's great. Great. And,
All right.
I love the beast that he is slain and is wearing, It's great. So cool. Let's do a quick recap. So as the person who went first in this draft, my 5 picks were Dyadic Carapace, Figment of Tenacity, the Shaden Death Hydra, Widespread Ruin, and Themis, Archangel of Judgment.
Good picks. Good picks.
Thank you.
Bravo.
For me,
No,
in this,
not Bravo.
nice. What
Maybe
a
it's not
fab
funny, I
pun
don't
that
know.
was.
Yeah.
In this 2023 Dusk to Dawn art draft, Choningman has picked Diadem of Dream State, Requiem for the Damned, Prayer of Bologna, Widespread Annihilation, and Vinset Iron Maiden.
Gonna be close. It's gonna be close.
And for the 2023 Dusk Till Dawn, Dawn Till Dusk draft, Isaac Jessen has drafted Figment of Triumph, Iron Song versus Censor, Slithering Shadowpede, and Ram Raider.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Super good.
And there we go.
These were good.
Okay.
I think so. What I mentioned before was there are some very, very good art pieces in this set, but I think there's like 15 to 20, and then the rest of the art is kind of like mid for me, to be honest. Is kind of how I came away from this set. I it was that thing where spoiler season, you're like, oh, this art is like so cool, and then you kind of go back and actually like really, you know, because we're coming at it with like a more critical eye of the art, devoid of its place in the game and what it, you know, card it's actually associated with. And I think there was just a lot more of just like, oh, these are kind of all the same kind of looking, and there's nothing really that I'm like super, you know, there was like some really good ones, but yeah, I just felt like overall, like there was like maybe more misses than hits in the whole set, but the hits themselves were like real strong. So it's like a little,
some of the best ever.
Unbalanced. Yeah.
My question to you both is, which set of cards has the overall strongest artwork? So like Illusionist, Light Warrior, Shadow Runeblade, Shadow, Light, or Generic. Which one of those is like the absolute best, in your opinion?
So for me, it's Light Illusionist because of the Figment. I mean, I agree with Colin. Like, there's a number of cards that are kind of like generically interchangeable, which is a bit disappointing. But for me, the set, the like hits or home runs in the set, there's like more home runs in this set than maybe any other set, which, you know, kind of makes it stand out, even if not every card is excellent. But I'm going to choose Light Illusionist for your question because of the Figments and a lot of the angels on the backs of those Figments, but especially the Figments themselves. Like, to be honest, I could have chosen 5 Figments for this draft and been like happy with it, you know? So
yeah, for me, it's weird because the Figments carry the Light Illusionist art, because more than half the art is just the reprinted heralds. And then to me, the angels themselves are a little less interesting for the most part. The Figments just have that kind of like illustrative, mythological storytelling vibe that is just so cool. But I think if I'm looking at like the threat density of like dope art, I think it's Shadow Runeblade.
Really?
I think it might be, but it's hard. I'd have to like really go back and look at it, which I guess I could do, but I'm just based off like the number of cards I picked, you know, like if I disregard, you know, like if I say Light Illusionist is kind of just like it's not there because like the Figments, I mean the Figments basically do it and you're just like it is the best because they're amazing. But if I have to go for like number of good cards, I think it might be Shadow Runeblade.
Nice. For me, so like, so I agree with you, Colin, for the light. So Light Warrior, weakest for sure. And Light Illusionist doesn't do it for me because of the Herald reprints. And for the same thing you said, like, and then there's like, they're okay, but they look so similar, like Angelic Descent and Angelic Wrath, you know? Actually, Celestial Reprimand, I think, is my favorite Light Illusionist non-Figment card that was on my list. It's like really good. But those just like aren't enough of a banger. I think the real banger as like a whole is Shadow Brute. Like even from the weapon all the way to the last common is like so good. Like Hellhammer is freaking awesome. I almost picked it because it has like a weird tentacle infection to it also, you know? And then like just all of the M's are really good. And then you get to like Ram Raider, Baller. Wall Breaker was on my list because it's like, how sick is this gigantic fist just like punching through this wall, you know?
Yeah. Like,
And,
oh,
like,
they have a wall.
Yeah,
Bring in
totally.
the wall breaker.
Yeah, we have a fist. You know, Satin Scream is awesome. Even like tribute to Legions of Doom, like the composition and like contrast on all of these cards is like just really good. And
That's a card I considered tribute to Legion or tribute to Demolition.
yeah, that one's even great too. Like that
Yeah.
dude's like left-handed with his freaking chopper. I'm a lefty. It's great.
Demolition, yeah, that one I looked at and I was like, this one is subtle but really cool.
Like maybe the worst one is the Shade and Swing, but even that one's like freaking dope because it's like the Unworldly Bellows dude, you know, or whatever.
Yeah,
So-
expendable limbs was on my list, but I chose Slithering Shadow Pete over it. But it's pretty.
They're like
you
all
know,
good.
pretty horrific.
I think they win. For me, the reason Shadow Runeblade doesn't get there is because once we get to like Envelop in Darkness is okay, but then after that, they're just kind of weak, you know? Because I think Putrid Stirrings would look sick if it was a huge piece of art, but on a tiny piece of cardboard, it's tough to see how probably insane that card is also. But anyway, that was my thing. And then
Yeah.
Shadow doesn't get there for me, but in terms of it versus the light cards is really good. Like you said, Beseech the Demigod is freaking awesome and was on my list, and I almost picked it like every round because of how awesome it is.
I know. I'm like sad I didn't pick it now because it was high on my list, and it just is like, yeah, it's just one of the pieces in this set that you're just like, you know, epic fantasy art.
Yeah.
It's just like stirs those deep feelings.
Yeah, that one is pretty good too. Yeah, any other honorable mentions?
Yeah, I have United We Stand.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know, was kind of my ace in the hole. If you guys started to have too good of a draft, I was going to pick that because, like, I don't know how you beat that. It's like it's very awesome, but it only like it loses points for me because they cover up our boy Bolton's face with the border of the card.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I mean, this one's just too like Avengers movie poster. It's just like, you know, it's cool because it is epic, but it's also just like, we'll just put everybody in the picture.
Yeah, I love it. I love that. I love a team up. Oblivion was my other one I really considered a bunch. It's just like so cool.
Wait, which one's Oblivion?
It's the one where Vincent is summoning Nazareth.
Yeah, with surrounded by
right,
all
right.
enchants, like
Yeah, rune gating.
healing.
Yeah, it's so cool.
That one's really good. I had what else did I have? Chains of Mephitis.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I considered that.
You know, just because it had that like I don't know, more comic book vibe where it's just like, you know, these different frames, like each section between, oh man, I didn't even notice this, I don't think, but each section between the different chains has like a different like background going on, and it's just like pretty intense. Really cool. I think just in the end, the actual chains themselves kind of like bugged me, so I didn't pick that one. Also Funeral Moon.
yeah, yep. That was on my list.
It's simple, but it's just the scale, the shape, you know, the contrast of the building and the moon. It's definitely got like Blood Moon vibes from, you know, Legend of Zelda. And I think this one would look really cool, just like big on like a playmat or something. And I even had Levia Redeemed on here. I just thought like it was cool to see her, you know, restored to a more human form that is less body horror and more just kind of like, you know, gothy queen. It just looks really cool. And then Scowling Fleshbag, because I mean, come on, he's wearing.
I was
I like-
surprised. Go ahead, Isaac.
I don't like the name of Scowling Fleshbag, but I like the art because it's another one of those cards. Like if you're playing Brute,
Yeah,
that's what you want to be, right? Like you want to be this dangerous hunter that's about to murder whatever he's looking at, you know?
yeah. And he's
so
like, I block
that.
I block your hit with my head, which
Yeah.
is so freaky and gross that it scares you mid attack.
And now it's my turn.
Yeah, it's really good.
I really thought somebody was going to pick that eloquence token.
It was on my list like deeper down if we had to get there, but yeah, that one.
Yeah, me too.
That's a good one. Yeah. That same artist from Requiem for the Damned and the Slithering whatever peed.
Shadowpeed.
Shadowpeed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Eloquence token is very good. And it might have got knocked down a bit just because we saw it first, I believe.
Yeah.
So we've like seen it for so long. But yeah, really, really good. It's only 5. At first I made a list of 10 and then didn't know how to cut it. So
I did mine in tiers. I did rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just picked all of the ones I wanted to do in that. The last 2 I think were really tough, but I enjoyed. There's actually a lot, but 2 that potentially could have been sleepers, I think, is Bastion of Unity. So it's like a very beautiful shield, and it's just very beautiful, period. But it's not very dynamic, and that's why I didn't pick it. But it like works perfect as a warrior offhand equipment. You know what I mean? Like for a shield, like it would be perfect in the gameplay area. So that's really cool. And then it's like not a card anybody's going to play really, but Morlock Hill is a fucking awesome card that does a cool thing that ties into the lore, and it's just it has everything you want except for it to be playable. But it's so cool.
yeah.
So that's kind of it for me.
I have a few shout outs. First of all, the frontline equipment, which doesn't really have anything exciting going on for it, but the lighting and detail are really, really good. And if you're just looking for like, this is the piece of armor you found on your, role-playing campaign, and it's awesome. That's what these paintings show. So I just think the lighting on those are really cool. And my favorite angel, I wasn't surprised. There's like a number of cool angels, but I really like Bellona, or Bellona. She was actually on my short list. I really, really like this card because it's just like Bellona is not messing around. She's coming to slay demons, and she's going to do it and win the battle right here. Just evokes power. So I think that card's pretty cool.
Yeah. No,
I also had Figment of Erudition on my short list because this is like another art style that's different, and it kind of gave me like this younger person or child is like reading or exploring these different stories or tales, or reading about these monsters or angels or whatever, and it kind of gave me like Where the Wild Things Are vibes, as like all of this fantastical stuff is kind of like emanating from her book, but it's like the things that she's experiencing from this tome. It has a lot of stylized detail in it. So
yeah, this one's
limited
really
choices.
Good. It reminds me of like Sandman comic books, like it's just kind of like whimsical and a little kind of rough, but like cool looking.
Yeah. Shout out to Archangel of Rebirth. That one was like really close, but never made my list. But it's the, I think, most different angel, it seems like, kind of a fairy vibe, has some armor. Maybe is in a swamp.
She almost made my list because the complexity of right. Like she has some armor, but is like a delicate fairy, but seems like saddened by this skull, or I don't,
Yeah.
there's just like different layers to it.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
But interesting set. I mean, there's in terms of artwork, like you said, Colin, again, like huge bangers, some of the best we've ever seen. I'm also surprised nobody picked up Empyrean Rapture.
What is that?
You know?
Oh, yeah.
It's the light illusionist equipment. This is, I
yeah.
think, an example of something that looks amazing in person, but maybe is not as incredible in this format, because I have one of those and it's freaking rad to look at. So
Yeah, I think the
but-
foiling really does make it better on the
Yeah.
full foil one. I'm looking at mine right now. It's like, it is pretty good.
yeah. I wonder
hard,
if
man.
there are a number of those. Like, I bet the angels, some of the angels we maybe passed on look better in person, and some of these other cards potentially look better in person. So that's like kind of an interesting dichotomy. That's
Yeah, because
within this format.
To me, who does not own a cold foil Imperium Rapture, apparently missing out on that club, right? Like, to me, like Bellina is a very similar flavored illustration, and I like Bellina better. You know what I mean? Just looking at the online prints of it. So yes, I think that having the physical art and or the foiling really helps you appreciate things.
All right. Well, we did it. Let us know what your favorite art was and who you think won the Dusk to Dawn art draft.
Yeah, totally. Will we crown a new champion, or will Colin go back to back?
I
We'll
don't
find
know.
out.
I think it's close.
This
It was
one is
close
very
last
close.
time. It's close this time.
Yeah.
This is a good game we play.
Yeah. Good job, guys. Always a pleasure. Please like and subscribe. If you want to support the show, you can join our Patreon for as little as $4 a month. You get access to our Discord. You get access to our private, fun podcast where we just talk about stuff we like. And it helps us continue bringing free content to you every single month for almost 3 years now.
Hell yeah.
This marks the end of the second year of Reaction Step, by the way. I think this is episode 24. So
Cool.
Oh, awesome. We should have
congrats
opened with
to us.
that.
I forgot.
But great job.
I forgot. But yeah, this is, we've done it 2 years of Reaction Step. It's been a lot of fun. So
Hell yeah.
if you enjoy the content, and all you can do is like and subscribe and tell a friend, that goes a long way as well. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.